Hard level 70. We start with single color cells, but there's none. So we look at colors which can only be found in a particular row or a particular column. And based on the board, there are two of them. First would be the purple, which can be found on this column. Okay, so we cross out other colors in that column, and we cross out potential adjacent cells. Then dark blue can be found on the last column. We cross out all other cells in that column and potentially adjacent cells. Then based on that, yellow can now be found on a particular column. So we cross out other cells in that column. Then gold can be found also in a particular column. So we cross out other colors in that column. With that, we can also see that brown here can be found in a particular column. So we cross out other cells in that column and potentially adjacent cells. Then dark green can be found on this column, so we cross out other cells in that column and potentially adjacent cells. Then pink can be found on this row, so we cross out other colors in that row and potentially adjacent cells. So with that, let's see if we could already place our first cat. Okay, on the first two rows we could see here that only dark green and yellow, that dark green and yellow can only be found on the first two rows, so we cross out other colors in the two rows. And with that, we have a single red cell here, so we place our first cat, then we cross out potentially adjacent cells since cats cannot touch. Then we have a single color pink here, we place our second cat, we cross out potentially adjacent cells, and we cross out the column. And then, so with that, we can see here that dark green,
Nice!
single color dark green there, so we place our third cat, we cross out the row. Then light yellow can be seen here, so we place our fourth cat there. And then if we could see here on the last two columns, or last two rows rather, we could only see blue and brown, so we cross out brown and blue in other rows. Okay, then with that, we could see here that violet and gold here, no? So they are very near to each other, so we place our cat where those cats cannot touch. So we put there, then there you go, then there is our last cat. Then cats cannot touch, so we place this out, then we place our last cat. Unbelievable, that's